here today with Diane Paradise. And Diane, it's such a pleasure to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
We're here in Tucson, Arizona, and I wanted to interview Diane. And Diane, if you could tell us a little bit about yourself and a little bit about your journey with cancer and about umbilical cord blood.
Fantastic. Yes, I am originally from upstate New York, but I currently live now in Wilmington, Delaware. I used to live in Arizona for a few years, and I'm a 23-year, 5-time cancer survivor.
Wow.
And it's Hodgkin's lymphoma, lymphocyte predominant. So it's a very rare form of Hodgkin's lymphoma. And back in December 2013, I had the opportunity, it was a last chance for me. The cancer had become more and more aggressive, and the chemo drugs were becoming less and less effective. So I had the opportunity to have a cord blood stem cell transplant on December 3rd, 2013.
Wow. And how did you find out about umbilical cord blood as an option to save your life?
This was not their first choice for me. They had originally started looking at, I went to Johns Hopkins, and they were looking at a half match for me, a haploid transplant. And it was about a month or so into the process when I got a phone call, and they asked me if I was willing to be part of a clinical trial where they were comparing the side effects of half match versus cord blood. And the more I thought about it, getting a clean slate versus a half match from a sibling was probably a better choice for me. So I figured, why not get involved in the clinical trial? And it was random that I ended up with cord blood. It was a random choice from basically the system that gave me cord blood.
Mm-hmm. And up until that point, had any of your doctors told you about umbilical cord blood or talked to you about it as an option at all?
No, not at all. I'd never even heard about it up until that point.
Wow, okay. Tell us about the procedure. How did you find your match, and who in all the world was your match, and how did that all happen?
Well, my match, that's what Johns Hopkins did for me, and they came up with, actually what I had was called a double umbilical cord blood stem cell transplant. And that stem cell transplant was where they look at the different things to match me with, and I ended up with 2 donors, one from Germany and one from Michigan. And they go into my system, and it's, for an adult, you have to have 2 because there's more of us as an adult. Mm-hmm. So they go into my system, and it's survival of the fittest. So whichever one grafts to me faster or better, and then 27 days out is when you're tested for your match, like how much of a graft do you have. Mm-hmm. And so my match that matched to me 100% at day 27 came from the Michigan Cord Blood Bank, and she was born on July 21st, 2011.
Wow, and she gave you a second chance at life.
She sure did, because at the point that I had the cord blood stem cell transplant, it really was a last chance for me, because like I said, with the cancer getting so much more aggressive. So she gave me that second chance that I didn't know if I'd have. So
wow. And you think that in this country with 3.5 million births, we throw away 97% of all umbilical cord blood, and it's basically one man's trash is another woman's treasure. In your case, it was the opportunity for you to go on and live a healthy, valuable life and not worry about surviving your cancer anymore, because you're now cured.
From the time that I was diagnosed at 24 years old. So my entire life I was fighting cancer. I mean, it was literally, let me get to the next birthday, let me get to the next holiday. And that was how I had to think. And then this past December, I went for my 3rd checkup, which with cord blood, it's 3 years is the magic number, whereas with a regular transplant, it's 5 years, or with a chemotherapy, it's 5 years. But with cord blood, the magic number is 3 years. And at my 3-year checkup, my scan was clean, my counts were great, and I was released from oncology for the first time in 23 years. So it really did. Now it's like, what do I do? I don't have doctor's appointments anymore.
You have a lot of free time now.
I have a
Yeah,
lot of
yeah.
free time now.
Wow,
I don't
that's
spend
just-
it in hospitals. So yes, because some woman chose to donate her umbilical cord blood to a public bank, I now have a life to live. And to me, that's as selfless as you can get.
You know, we've been talking today about education and the need for education and talking to our healthcare professionals and our expectant parents, but I think you and I both have a common passion, and that's educating that next generation of young men and women. And I really look forward to working with you in the future and telling your story. It's so powerful and inspiring to see a woman who was so close to death be able to turn that around because of a simple cord blood transplant. It's incredible. Could we finish up today? Could you maybe give a call to action and tell our viewers why saving cord blood is so important? Anyway, I'll turn it over to you and let you finish this up.
For me, I mean, look at me. I was on the brink of death. It was an imminent need for something to save my life. And because of that cord blood donation, I am able to stand here today to meet and to have this interview and to make a difference in the lives of people by sharing messages related to cancer about my hard-won lessons. It's extremely important, so please, please consider banking.
So, all right, so I'm going to pick up the phone and tell you how much I enjoyed meeting you today.
Thank
And what
you.
a
I've
very
enjoyed
special
meeting you
lady
too.
you are, and thank you
Thank you.
so much for your story and contributing. And we just want to say save cord blood. She's living
Yes.
proof.
Save cord
And
blood.
Diane, we're so thrilled that you're healthy and you've gotten a clean bill of health. And thank you so much for talking with us today. So save the cord.
Save the cord.
Cool.